Alright, this is a battle against Don from the Serbia Wi-Fi chat. I sent out my Volbeat. He then go straight for the U-turn into my Keklian as he sets the stealth rocks. I guess blocks out recovery. He goes for the stab earth power, but it doesn't really do too much to me because I am a special wall. But he goes for my disadvantage because of my color change ability and uses a perfect move Ice Beam against me. And he keeps using Ice Beam and Earth Power to get super effectiveness against me. So he has to hit my physical wall Glaceon as I predict the Ice Beam, so I can get a kind of safe switch in. So he sends out his Lucky Luckies, I go for the Ice Beam, hoping to do some good damage on his Nidoqueen. So here I go for the Wish, and he goes for the Toxic, which unfortunately misses for him. So here I send out my Volbeat, which is my anti-lead with a Focus Sash. So I'm back up the full, which preserves my Focus Sash. Here I go for the Focus Punch, hoping that it would actually do something, but he protects. So here I go for the Encore, protecting him to stay and like try to go for like a Fire Punch something. So I just go for the U-turn for scouting and send back out my Kecleon. But unfortunately, I guess the freeze on me with the Ice Beam, which isn't really too bad. Let's see if I just send out my Haunter predicting the Earth Power. What I predict that nicely. And here I go for the Substitute, thinking that he can't really do anything to me. So he scouts. So with the Protect, as I could go for the Sludge Bomb. But unfortunately for me, I forgot to PP max my Sludge Bomb, so that will be hurting me in the long run. But fortunately, I get the Poison. But unfortunately for me, he carries the Heal Bell, which cures his Poison. So he go for the Sludge Bomb again because it's the only way I can damage him. But unfortunately for me, he doesn't have any way of hurting me. Hurting my Haunter with Lucky Lucky. But I can only damage him with Sludge Bomb. So here I switch out into my Volbeat, hoping to go for a Focus Punch, but he switches out into his Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, I get the Poison Point, which really stinks. So here I just go for the U-turn and go back into my physical wall Glaceon. No, and he also goes for an Ice Beam, so I get a fairly safe switch. So here which goes into his Lucky Lucky as he goes for the whatever. So here I go for the Wish, and we get recovery. And here I go for the Ice Beam, hoping to do some damage to him. But unfortunately he misses the Toxic again. So we recover more HP, and I send out a safe switch into my Haunter. He switches out and goes out into his Dusclops. Then he makes a double switch and goes back into his Lucky Lucky as a substitute. Here's with Protect, trying to stop me out of Sludge Bombs. So I switch out and go back out into my Glaceon again, hoping to wall it. He switches out and goes back into his Dusclops as I go for the Wish, wanting to restore some HP. He'll go for the Ice Beam, hoping to do some damage, as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which doesn't really affect me too much, except for the initial damage that I can't fail there. I go for the Heal Bells, heals me on my Bone. And sorry if I'm talking too fast. Here I go for the Wish, and as he goes for the Seismic Toss again. Again, we'll recovery. Now I go back into my Haunter, go to very low HP, get the Pataya Berry boost, the Pain Splits, brings me back up to half. Then I get the Wish, which brings me back up to full. So I'm at nearly full HP with a substitute and a +1 Pataya boost. That is really dangerous for it, especially with dual stab. So here I'm just gonna take out Nidoqueen with 2 Shadow Balls. It's really good. So here I predict him to break my substitute, so that's why I went for another substitute and then for a Dusty Bond, thinking he'd take me out. So here I just go for the Sludge Bomb, hoping to do some damage to his Lucky Lucky. So here I predict the switch back out of Lucky Lucky, and I go for another Sludge Bomb, which that really could have hurt me if I didn't predict that correctly. So here I go into my Manectric as he Toxics. And I'm gonna hope to switcheroo him a Choice Scarf, but unfortunately I switcheroo it to his Sandslash, which isn't really too bad, since he'll still really cripple it. So unfortunately for him, he misses the Stone Edge, which really hurts him. And now I U-turn out into my Float Zone, and he misses another Stone Edge. So here I go for the Ice Punch, predicting him to go into something that would resist the Waterfall. And as you'll see later, he does something to resist the Waterfall. So here goes for Toxic, and I send out my Volbeat as fodder and try to get like the last minute encore, which failed. So he switches out, and I go for the Waterfall, not wanting to overprotect again. So he goes for the Protect to get more leftover recovery, and to see if I was choice or not. So here he goes out into my Toxic Croak, knowing that he'd have a safe switch in. Now he goes for the Thunder Punch, which is not very effective, and he gets the Static. Why did he have Thunder Punch? I have no idea. So here he goes for the Overheat, wanting to get some really good damage on Toxic Croak due to what if I was doing boost on to dry skin. But it kind of works out good because he goes back into his Licky Licky, and I get some good damage on it. So here I get more poison damage, and he's trying to Toxic Storm me using the Protect. And unfortunately for me, that works, and my Ministry gets KO'd. So here I send out my Floatzel, and go for the Crunch, predicting the Dust Clap switch in. I'm so pro. MLG. I send out Toxic Croak, and I send back out my Shadow, and unfortunately he gets the pair of hacks. But I go for the Sludge Bomb, predicting him to go back out into his Licky Licky. So here I finally KO that stupid thing with another Sludge Bomb, and he sends out his Sand Slash, and I go for the Destiny Bond. And fortunately for me, that does work. So, well, I get a lot of kills with that with my Haunter. So here I send out my Special Wall. Well, unfortunately for him again, he was probably gonna go for like the Sucker Punch, but he got the pair of hacks, and I just go for the Fire Punch, which is boosted due to his dry skin. And my only two offensive moves on this thing is Fire Punch and Aqua Tail. So he goes for the Hidden Power Grass, and I go for the Thunder Wave, because why wouldn't I have Thunder Wave on my wall? And I just go for the Aqua Tail, and he goes for the Hidden Power Grass again, maybe being choice in some way. So here he goes for the Sucker Punch, and I just go for the Aqua Tail, and that KOs, and that's the end of the battle. Bye.